All right, guys, so we're going to make our celery soda. 1 gallon of water, 2 pounds of celery, that's essentially 2 heads of celery chopped, 2.5 cups of white sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, 3 cups of water, 1 cup of lime juice, half a cup of ginger bug, and 10 cardamom pods lightly crushed. So the ginger bug is kind of the heart of this thing. This is a culture that we just ferment, or we just encourage natural yeast to grow. So this is what's going to actually start the fermentation. And as long as we give it enough sugar to consume, it'll start making carbon dioxide, make it all bubbly, make it a soda. So to give it that sugar, we want to make a simple syrup that I could then add into the liquid. So I'm going to take our sugar, the 3 cups of water we set aside, and I am going to make a simple syrup with it. I'm going to drop in that water just to get it heating up. There are 10 cardamom pods, so we're going to heat that in the water. We need to blend all of our celery. I'm going to take 1 quart of the gallon of water here, basically 1/4 of the gallon, and blend it with that just to kind of extract the juice. We're going to strain it out right here. So let's take our quart. I'm going to start loading. Like, the celery doesn't need to be chopped very well. We're going to kill it right now. So just fill her up. See how much we get in there. All right, even already looking at this now, it might have to be 3 batches. Give it some liquid. A little bit more. Not bad. That should be enough. All right, so let's just chop this up, blend it. We're not pureeing. Remember, we're just going to strain out the solids. We're just trying to get to the juice. That's all it really needs. That's all you're looking at. But yeah, so this is it's a fairly good fine chop. Let's just strain it. Keep it working. Beautiful, beautiful, my love, beautiful, my love. All right, let's do it again. Look at that, I didn't need to. Beautiful. Let's use the rest of this water. Choppy. All right, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Okay, look at all that. I should squeeze it, get as much celery as I can into there. The rest of the water is going to be through here. In fact, you know what? I'm going to use all this water anyway. Let's just pour it over top here. Let's just try and filter out even more. Yeah, let's just right through there. For our syrup, we got our cardamom floating in there. So this resulting syrup, I'm going to use about 3 cups of it per gallon of soda here. Now I could go as high as 4, 5 even if I want it really sweet. But remember, I'm going to add the cannabis syrup to the cocktail later. So I want to kind of reduce the sugar now so it doesn't become overly sweet in the finished drink. We're just about there. It's just getting hot enough. I have 3 cups of sugar, 3 cups of water. You can get more specific. You could do it by weight. I could have 100 grams of water, 100 grams of sugar. But we don't need to be too specific right now. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to be that dialed in. Let's keep going here. I'm excited. It's going to be good. One thing to note is that sometimes you're going to make a tea. Sometimes, if you make a soda, sometimes you're heating up this liquid right here. You don't want to boil the ginger bug. It's the living thing. The yeast will die if you boil it. So you want to be very careful when you're adding heat to the ginger bug. So realistically, I'm going to make sure this concoction is down to room temperature before I add that fermentation starter in there. Because I do not want to damage it. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time. That's the whole point of this whole thing. Well, I'm just going to raise this to a boil, take it off the heat right away. Make sure the cardamom cools down and fuses. Then we'll come back and we'll kind of combine it all together. Let's keep adding the water here. Why not? Here. Okay, so it's just at a boil. I'm going to turn this off. Remove it from the heat. Just make sure everything's kind of dissolved in there. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. Honestly, just going to take a little plate, right here, pardon me. And I'm just going to cover this thing. So it's, ooh, pardon me. So all that cardamom is just going to infuse real nice in there. Just a little bit, just subtly. This is going to finish draining, and then we're going to combine it all. I'll see you in just a minute. Okay. All right, guys, so everything's kind of cooled down a bit. Set. Now we want to get about 3 cups of the sweet into here. So I have my little measurer here, filter to get the cardamom pods, and let's get 3 cups out. So bear with me for a second. Up there. That's 2 cups. I need 1 more cup. Put this aside. We have our 1 cup of lemon juice. I'm just going to put it in here, wash all that good stuff out. This is lime juice, excuse me. Is that lemon? I meant lime. That are here. Now, since it's all nice temperature, it's good room temperature, now I can add my ginger bug. And I'm going to, man, that's the thing that's going to eat that sugar, start making carbon dioxide, dry it out a touch. Home fermented. So you want to let the liquid breathe. So the yeast is gonna release gases. It's got to go somewhere. If you seal it tight, pressure builds, things don't work right. So you could cover this with cheesecloth, a little tea towel, cloth that breathes. I'm gonna put this down, but I'm gonna make sure it's burped. So you got a little bit of air moving here. Just make sure nothing falls into it. Ideally, you want to find a way to keep like bugs and things from flying in there. That's why you would put cloth over there. But it's winter right now. I don't have any bugs. I think this will work just fine. So we're going to let this ferment for about 2 or 3 days. If after 3 or 4 days you're not seeing any bubbles in here, that means your ginger bug was dead, wasn't working. So in about 2 or 3 days, I should start seeing bubbles forming, things moving in there, and that's when we'll take it off and we'll continue with the next step. So see you in a couple days. All right, guys. So we're going to finish our celery soda. So it's been sitting about 3 days, 2.5 maybe. But you see, it's all kind of, you see the bubbles kind of rising on the surface. There's more stuff in here. You'd see that floating around. It smells active. It's been fermenting. It worked. And the sugar the yeast has eaten some of that sugar, so it's made it a little less sweet. So now we're going to straighten it out and bottle it up. You know, so this is the next stage in the thing. So I have my wire mesh strainer lined with some cheesecloth. Just going to get all the solids out. Nice big container to put it all into. There's not a lot of solids in this one, so that's nice. So now we're going to start the in-bottle fermentation process. It's already fermented, it's already started, right? And now I'm going to take some of that simple syrup that we made initially to put in there. We had a little left over. We're going to use it now. So what you want to do is you need a nice thick glass bottle with a swing top lid. This is important. You need to have that clicked into place. Keeps the pressure on the lid because there will be gas forming in here and there's going to be pressure inside and you're going to notice when it burps. We're going to put 1 ounce of simple syrup into every single bottle. So that's going to kind of kickstart the yeast once it gets into the bottle, and that's what's going to make it fizzy. That's what's going to do the carbonation process, is the yeast in the bottle, not here. So here we go. Just a little ounce in each one. And it could be more, it could be less. You just need some sugar to kickstart it. And I would like a funnel, but I don't have one, so we're going to be real gentle. Got it. I'm going to do it my way. You probably have a funnel. There's a better way to do it. But you know what? I'm kind of a do-it-yourself kind of guy. So here we go. All right. And there we have it, folks. This is our celery soda. So I'm going to put this in the fridge. And a super important thing to do when you are making your own sodas is when you first make it, you got to check this thing every day. Every day. So you got to burp it every day, which means that's it. Just open it up a little bit, let the gas out, seal it right back in. So you want to kind of regulate that. And eventually, after a couple days, you're going to notice it's not going to burp as much. So it's kind of done with its process. You can leave it on. Just check it every now and then, but you got to check it. Otherwise, eventually, you will have an exploding bottle on your hands. But there you go, guys. So I'm going to let this sit. It's going to take a couple days. I'm going to say 3-4 days to actually, get fizzy. And after that, you can just let it go. You can just let it go. So there you go, guys. You have an official Steve's Celery Soda.